Junior brother jumped in fright. Luli stood before junior brother with a cold face. "You rat, stop hiding in the house. Come out and fight if you dare." Just then, the bamboo house door opened. A woman in a long red robe appeared. Her eyes were lazy, with the aloof air of one long at the top. But as she walked, it was clear her leg had a problem. Luli dropped her guard and looked disdainful. So she is a cripple. But she did not notice the shock in junior brother's eyes when he saw her. You stared at the familiar patterns on her red robe and shouted in your heart, "Holy crap." She stopped before you. In front of junior brother and Liuli, she lifted your hand and gently kissed it. Qinghan swears to serve master unto death. Junior brother stared at Qinghan for a long time before looking away. Then he stated his true purpose. "Senior brother, you know Liuli is the finest sword in the 9 provinces. She cannot make do like other sword spirits. I heard Uncle Gu left you many rare treasures and spirit stones after he died. They are useless in your hands. Why not give them to me to care for Liuli?" So he found Liuli too costly and hard to serve, and his monthly funds were limited, so he came to make me pay for it. You found it absurd. Liuli is your sword spirit. Why should I pay to care for her? You cannot say that Master Wuxin first gave the Liuli sword to senior brother, so of course you must care for her. If Liuli is not cared for well, and her spiritual power suffers, how could you face Master Wuxin and Uncle Gus' friendship? Junior brother looked like it was only natural, but then Qinghan suddenly held your hand and spoke in a spoiled tone. "Master, I also want good care. I am a cripple too. Last night Master formed a bond with me, and even touched me there. You must take responsibility for me. A bond you remembered hurting your finger while cleaning her last night, but touched her there. Where was there?" Junior brother flushed red with anger. "Senior brother, think this through. Spirit swords are not like ordinary swords. A broken sword is hard to reforge. A crippled sword spirit is useless. No treasure you spend on her will matter. If you give those things to me, Liuli and I can protect you a little in the future. Is that not a good deal? So I pay all the cost of raising Liuli, and only get a little protection in the end. What a wonderful deal indeed." Your face turned cold. "Qinghan is my sword spirit. How I raise her is my business. No need for your concern. As for Liuli, junior brother should find a way yourself." Junior brother gained nothing. He glared hard at you and Qinghan, and dragged Liuli away. Qinghan said she needed good care, but she rarely asked you for anything. She only touched you whenever she had the chance. If you stayed silent, her eyes would redden, like an abandoned little fairy. "Does master despise me for being crippled? Then master should break the contract now, and throw me into the sword furnace to melt. Then get a pretty whole sword spirit instead. So I will not burden master." You smiled. "You do not despise me for being useless. How could I despise you? Besides, no sword spirit would choose me anyway." Qinghan leaned close to you, her breath near you as she said, "I do. So master must work hard and protect me well." You thought she was joking, but early the next morning she dragged you up, saying she would guide your sword practice, and it was a Qingshan sect technique. The Qingshan 9 forms no one had mastered for centuries. You thought she had gone mad. The founder of Qingshan sect left hundreds of sword arts, but only the legendary Qingshan 9 forms remained unsolved, and no one had mastered it to this day. Facing your doubt, pride appeared for the first time in Qinghan's lazy eyes. "That is because others are not worthy. Others are not worthy. Then am I a useless hollow root worthy of it?" Qinghan suddenly looked at you and spoke slowly. "The founder of Qingshan sect had a hollow spirit root." You froze. Qingshan sect was founded centuries ago. Its founder was a remarkable man who shared your name. He founded a sect while still young, and created hundreds of sword arts. You only knew his greatest skill was the Qingshan 9 forms. You never knew he also had a hollow spirit root. Son, do not grieve over having a hollow spirit root. Everything in this world has its own order. Maybe it is a blessing heaven gave you. Your sect ancestor left hundreds of sword arts to his descendants, but only the Qingshan 9 forms can be fully mastered by a hollow spirit root. Do you still think a hollow root means trash? Your father's words and Qinghan's words echoed in your mind. You began to train hard. Qinghan never despised your ugly moves or poor form. Instead, she corrected and praised you with patience. Under her guidance, you soon mastered 6 forms. The sect master and disciples were happy for you, except junior brother. He had often quarreled with Liuli lately, because he felt taking commissions was tiring and hard, and all the pay went to Liuli. He had no money even for flower wine, so junior brother quit working, and kept scolding Liuli. "Do not act like a princess without the fate of one. Do you think my spirit stones fall from the sky? I run everywhere and suffer for you. What have you ever given me?" Senior brother's crippled sword spirit can teach him. The Qingshan 9 forms. "What about you? The finest sword in the 9 provinces, my foot. You only eat and wait to die. Useless trash." In truth, it was not all Liuli's fault. Her cultivation talent was far above other sword spirits, but she had only been born recently, and knew little about Qingshan sect's sword arts. How could she compare to Qinghan, that old fox who had lived who knew how long? Sometimes even you felt Qinghan seemed to know Qingshan sect better than the sect master. And because Qinghan knew sword arts so well, the disciples often came to ask her for advice. Because everyone treated you well, Qinghan was willing to say a few more words. You could not join in, so you went down the mountain with a few juniors to buy supplies. But on the way back, a sudden pain tore through your chest. You dropped to your knees and spat blood. The juniors panicked and hurried to ask what was wrong. You looked up at the sect on the mountain peak. Something happened to Qinghan. When you kicked open the sword furnace doors with the others, Qinghan's blade had been thrown into the furnace. Her spirit body lay on the ground, so weak it was almost transparent. A disciple said, "Junior brother dressed up like a peacock and ran to your courtyard, wanting to ask Qinghan about sword arts. He even touched her. But Qinghan pushed him away at once and told him to bring his sword spirit first. To apologize to you for what they said that day, only after you forgave them. Would she think about it?" Then junior brother flew into shame and rage. While everyone was away, he tricked Qinghan, saying you got burned while helping at the sword furnace. Qinghan rushed toward the sword furnace and never noticed junior brother had stolen her blade. By the time she realized it, junior brother had thrown the sword into the furnace. You knew Qinghan was never as healthy as she looked. Her blade was a broken sword, and her spirit body was very weak. Burned by the furnace's special flame, it was equal to killing her. You kicked away the panicked junior brother, ignored the burning flames, and snatched the sword out. Luckily, it had only just been thrown in. Qinghan looked in pain but would not die. She even had the mood to joke with you. "Master saved my life again. How should I repay you? How about I give myself to you?" Qinghan joked with her mouth, but her eyes watched your hand with heartache. You said yes, then handed Qinghan's spirit body to the disciples, and raised your sword to slash at junior brother. The sword arts you trained for days now showed their power. Junior brother had no spirit sword with him, and his heart was panicking, so he could only dodge and beg for mercy. Liuli appeared at the door at some point, and saw everything. Junior brother shouted, "Liuli, why are you just standing there? Stop senior brother now. Sword spirits can guide swords on their own, and attack anyone besides their bonded master." But Liuli did not move. She looked at junior brother with complicated eyes. Then at Qinghan collapsed nearby. Then finally at you gone mad. Famous swords have pride. Though she was arrogant, she was not unable to tell right from wrong. She began to doubt whether her choice was right. In the end, your fellow disciples calmed you down, but your blade still pointed coldly at junior brother. 1 month later at the sect tournament, "I will duel you." Do you dare sign a life-death pact with me? Junior brother hesitated at those words, but he glanced at Qinghan. Greed appeared in his eyes, and he agreed at once. Fine, I will duel you. But the winner becomes Qinghan's new master. You looked at Qinghan. This matter required her consent. She curled her lips and said only 3 words to you: fight him. Junior brother left satisfied. Before leaving, he slapped Luli hard. You useless thing that cannot protect its master. All you do is waste my money. Hurry back and train. If you cannot win, I will throw you into the sword furnace. Liuli followed behind him with a lost face, no longer looking like the spirited finest sword in the 9 provinces. Junior brother agreed so readily, naturally because he had confidence. His confidence came from you mastering only 6 Qingshan forms. The hardest and strongest was the 9th form Jinghong, and it had to be done while man and sword were one. It was like splitting one mind in 2. Since ancient times, few could truly unite with their swords. Compared with your worry, Qinghan remained very calm. A hollow spirit root is not bound by any heaven or earth, and holds endless possibilities. Xianhan, you will not lose. That sounded impressive, but it did not change the fact that you knew only 6 forms. As the tournament approached, you trained almost day and night. Junior brother was not idle either. Disciples said, besides asking about your progress daily, he often left early and returned late. Soon the day of the sect tournament arrived, but in the end, your ability was not enough. You only reached the 8th form. The sect master was very worried about you. I know you want to stand up for Qinghan, but you have practiced sword arts for too short a time. Do not push yourself too hard. If Fang Yichin goes too far, I will stop him. But the life-death pact had been witnessed by Heavenly Tao. Even the sect master had no right to interfere, or he would suffer a lightning tribulation. You knew the sect master was worried, so you gave him a reassuring look. But only you knew. You had more than one debt to settle with Fang Yichin. On the high arena, the wind snapped your robe loudly. Only when Junior brother summoned the Liuli sword did you learn what he had been doing these days.